What is jQuery by Adriana Marquez? According to the W3 school, jQuery is a lightweight, write less, do more JavaScript library. The purpose of jQuery is to make it much easier to use JavaScript on your website. With jQuery, developers can achieve more with less code and make their website faster and more interactive with ease. jQuery can also simplify a lot of complicated things from JavaScript like Ajax calls and DOM manipulation. The jQuery library contains features such as CSS manipulation, HTML/DOM manipulation, HTML, event methods, effects and animations, Ajax, and utilities. Who created jQuery? jQuery was created by a developer named John Rezick at the ripe old age of 22, and jQuery was released at an event called Barcamp NYC in 2006. According to Pamela Gutierrez's blog post, jQuery saved the day in history. jQuery was born out of the frustration and the desire to solve a persistent problem. Was a computer science student at Rochester Institute of Technology. He was constantly coding JavaScript, and he was constantly frustrated by the difficulties in writing cross-browser code. Since it was the mid-2000s, there wasn't a JavaScript library that was able to simplify different browser behaviors. Developers often have to account for differences in browser behavior, and this would make the work tedious and ineffective. jQuery helps address this issue by providing a simplified way to handle this issue. Isaac spent years at the RIT building and worked on a series of tools and personal libraries to help make JavaScript easier to write and wanted to share them with the world in a clear manner. Below this is John Rezick's early process, and I have to say it's completely amazing that he was able to create this. He drew his original inspiration from a British developer named Charles Wilson, who had written a library called CSS Selector.js, in which allowed users to select and manipulate CSS elements. The jQuery selector pattern was drawn directly from this and then improved upon to do more complicated things. Rizik decided to focus on developing tools that can manipulate the HTML within the document object model, which is known as DOM. This grew into would become jQuery, and which continues to be the premier DOM manipulation library. For a hot minute, jQuery was about to be called JSelect, but it didn't work out since the domain was already taken. According to W3 Tech, in 2021, jQuery was used on 77.8% of the top 10 million websites. That's pretty impressive. Many of the biggest companies on the web uses jQuery, such as Google, Microsoft, IBM, and Netflix. What are the positives of using jQuery? Ooh, that's a real good question. It's lightweight when compared to other JavaScript frameworks. It has a wide range of plugins available for different needs. It is easier for a designer to learn jQuery as it uses familiar CSS syntax. Another positive of using jQuery is that it has a large and active community and a built-in animation effect. It also has a streamlined Ajax support and a simplified DOM manipulation. And it's also cross-browser friendly, which is actually one of the points of actually creating jQuery. And since everything isn't perfect, there's also disadvantages of using jQuery. The negatives of using jQuery is security vulnerabilities, dependency and updates, reduced JavaScript understanding, and reduced flexibility for custom features. There's a couple of good jQuery alternatives that you can use. React is one, and then there's Bootstrap, MooTools, Angular, Cache, Alpine.js, and Native Browser API. React uses a popular library for building user interface, and it also uses Next.js for full stack application. That's pretty cool. And Angular has a comprehensive framework for building robust web application. And then another lightweight alternative is Alpine.js, and it's similar to jQuery. From what I'm hearing, the only difference is that it's more modern. Another alternative would be Cache. Cache is very similar to jQuery. It has the same syntax. I don't think jQuery is going to go anywhere, honestly. I feel like people are going to continue to improve it, and I think it'll be a few years for anything else to pop up.